front of this is going to be super similar to what you've done in the past. Odds is probably a little bit different. So probability is going to be the simple part. Odds can get a little bit confusing, so just stay with me. You should only have 25 in front of you. You could have eaten the other 25. So you should have taken 25 out of your M&M's bag, and you could have eaten or done whatever you wanted with the rest. Just 25 at random. Everybody did that, right? Okay. So first we need to talk about all the different types of probability and words that we associate with probability. So outcomes. Outcomes is legit what happens with probability. So like the outcome of the lottery is who wins the lottery. That's the outcome. The outcome would be like the probability of who wins the game. The outcome would be who won the game. All right, the event is any outcome or group of outcomes. So what we're actually predicting the probability to be. Probability is when outcomes are equally as likely. So really in this bag of M&Ms, they all had a chance. It's just depending on what fell into the bag at the production site. The impossible event would be something that can never happen. So in this bag of M&Ms, what's an impossible event? What's impossible in this bag of M&Ms? Charlie. Getting a purple. That's impossible. That cannot happen in this specific bag of M&Ms that we currently have. What would be a certain event? What's always possible in this bag? Jack.
To get at least one color.
To get a colored M&M, right? Yes, most definitely. The complement of an event is the opposite of it. So like flipping a coin, the complement of tails would be heads. Pretty self-explanatory. So these are some vocabulary words that you aren't going to hear very often, but you still need to know about them. All right, so this says, how often do you really taste the rainbow? I used to do this with Skittles. Last night I couldn't find Skittles, so we did M&Ms. So just change wherever it says Skittles to M&Ms. All right, maybe you want to change the probability of purple to brown. Change purple to brown since we don't have any purple M&Ms. Okay, you always want to do probability in lowest terms. Always, in simplest form, lowest terms. So when it says P and then a word in parentheses, it's talking about the probability of that happening. So the probability of a red M&M. This is going to be different for everybody in this room. So I'm going to use Chaz because he's closest. Chaz's probability of getting a red is 4 out of 25 because we're just doing it based on the 25 we pulled. You come up with your own probability. So you would be what out of 25? Come up with your own. So then the probability of yellow, same thing. Chaz would be a 2 out of 25 because he has 2 yellows out of the 25 he pulled. The probability of green for Chaz would be 3 out of 25 because 3 of them out of the 25 he pulled were green. You guys try to do orange, brown, and the probability of no. So hopefully probability of orange and probability of brown was not difficult. Hopefully that was pretty simple. Because how many oranges? Chaz had 8 oranges, so 8 out of 25. For brown, Chaz had 5 out of 25, but of course he wrote 1/5 because you should always be going to simplest terms. All right. So the probability of not getting a yellow. What does that mean? If I say, what's the probability of me not getting it? What does that mean?
It means like the probability of you drawing a color is not.
Right. What's the probability that I'm going to draw any color but yellow? You could have easily sat there and counted all the little different stats. What's another way you could have done it? That's way quicker. Lily. Yeah. Chaz knew he had 2 yellows, so he could have just done 25 minus 2 and got 23. His probability of not getting a yellow is really high. He has 23 out of a 25 chance. Does that make sense? All right, you guys try this one and this one. This one's not based off your bags. This is just based off statistics. Make sure they're in simplest form. And you can leave it as Skittles because it doesn't. Okay, so hopefully this wasn't too challenging. If the probability of grabbing a red is 14 out of 122, the probability of not grabbing a red is what? Mia Yoshida.
54 out of 60.
Okay. What was it before you simplified?
108 over.
Yeah. There's 108 possibilities you won't grab a red out of the 122 in the back. Everybody with me? Questions on that one? All right. Ella, the next one. In the United States, the probability that a child doesn't like Skittles is 44 in 90. Find the probability of the child liking Skittles. What was it before you simplified? 46 out of 90. Any questions on probability? Everybody's good there? Okay, let's go on to odds. Flip over to the back. We're going to use Chaz's information, so everyone needs to write this down so you know what Chaz has. Chaz has 2 yellows, 3 blues, 3 greens, 4 reds, 5 browns, and 8 orange. I'll give you a second to write those down. Odds are different, so please pay close attention. Odds are not as easy as probability. So when we say, like, what's the odds of this and this happening, you're comparing part to part. In probability, you compare part of it to the whole bag. Like, we just compared part of it to the 25 we pulled. That's a part to whole. We're talking about the whole bag in parts. Odds, we're talking about part of the bag to part of the bag. Everybody with me? Okay, so odds in favor. That means it's gonna happen. That means it's gonna happen. Odds in favor of drawing a red at random. So in Chaz's case, in the bag we're using, he is gonna draw 4 reds. That's gonna be your numerator. 4 of the reds. Now, the numerator is not going to be 25 because we're talking odds now. Our odds are part to part. So he has 4 chances of getting a red. How many chances does he have to not get a red? Everybody?
4.
So his odds are 4 to 21 odds. He has 4 chances of getting it, 21 chances of not getting it. That's the difference in odds. Odds are part to part. Everyone understand the difference there? Because the probability would have been 4 to 25, the odds are 4 to 21. Everybody with me so far? All right. Odds against. That would mean that it's not going to happen. Odds against drawing a yellow or a green. What's the odds that you will not draw a yellow or a green? Yellow or a green. All right. So there's 5 chances he's not going to draw, or that he would draw a yellow or a green. So against it would be 20. There's 20 chances he's not going to get it. How many chances is it that he is going to get it? 5. So his chances is really 4 to 1. For every 4 that he draws, the likelihood 1 is going to be yellow or green. You guys try the next 3, except if it's purple, change it to brown. Try the next 3. Change purple to brown. Change purple to brown. These always have. Okay, odds in favor of drawing a brown at random would have been drawing a brown at random. Alright, so you have 5 chances of drawing a brown out of 20, which is the same as 140. Because there's 5 browns and there's 20 that aren't browns. Alright, odds in favor of drawing a red, yellow, and orange at random. So you have 14 chances of drawing a red, yellow, or orange. And you have 11 chances that you don't draw that. Odds against drawing a green, there's 22 that aren't green and 3 that are green. You do not need to do the bottom page because we will do that class.